Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl,
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
and we're glad to have the what he's intending to say. Dalek, if you don't get out of there, I have a Dalek stitch marker to mark my beginning of round, and it was inside the hat, and it did not want to come out. It was hiding. It was hiding. Okay, are you reading anything else?
No. So what all have you been reading?
Oh, I have finished a lot of things this week, you guys. So I finished reading The Broken Way, A Daring Path into the Abundant Life by Anne Voskamp, and I cannot recommend it higher. Love her stuff. If you're going to read it, I would highly recommend that you read her first book first, which is called 1,000 Gifts, and then read this, because there are portions of The Broken Way that made more sense to me after having read 1,000 Gifts. So, throwing that out there, amazing book, love it. It will be on my reread list. Okay, and then I have started 2 more nonfiction books, which normally I only read one at a time, but I'm reading one with a friend in a read-along type thing. So that one is The Desire Map, A Guide to Creating Goals with Soul. I don't know why that part is not highlighted. Bold. By Danielle Laporte. And there is some language in this book, just FYI. So it's like broken up into 2 parts. So the first part is like the theory, and then the second part is like a workbook journaling type stuff. So I'm still in the theory part. So I have not started doing the journaling with it, but there have been several very good things that I've enjoyed. And it's so kind of her premise is discovering what feelings you want to feel when something positive happens, that you reach some goal. So like, I want a life that's full of joy. And yes, when the new book comes out, that will be joyful for me. And hopefully it will sell and make a lot of money and be very successful for us. But my focus needs to be on that my life is going to be joyful with this stuff happening, versus, oh, I want to be successful, and then the book sells really well, but then I have to go, okay, now what next? What else do I have to do to keep being successful? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, so I'm enjoying that. And then I'm also reading Simply Tuesday, Small Moment Living in a Fast-Moving World by Emily P. Freeman. I heard her on a podcast recently and really enjoyed that. And so I am enjoying reading her book. And that it is actually on Kindle Unlimited. So you could read that. And then I'm continuing to reread in real time Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness, and this is part of the All Souls trilogy, and I'm using the real-time reading companion. And we're kind of in a little break right now, I think until like the 12th, because you read it like as it happened. So, and then fiction-wise, I read all 3 books of the Riley Adamson epilogues by Shannon Mayer. So these are characters from another series she did, now moving into a new thing. So I read all 3 books of those. I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Oh my gosh, that one was creepy, weird, crazy. I had read other stuff by him, the Wayward Pines series. And so this one I had on my wish list, and it went on sale for like big discounts. So I went ahead and picked it up, and so that I read it, and it's interesting, but it's like really weird. And he even said that in the some notes afterward that this was the hardest book he's ever written, because it is like really out there. So it involves multiple universes, and that idea that when I make a decision right now, because I made that decision, this stuff happens, but because I didn't decide this way, this happens, and so it like builds multiple universes, always based on your next thing that happens. So, and then I read the 3rd book in the Daggers and Steel series by Alex P. Berg. This one was called Time to Steal, Steele, because that's one of the characters' name. And they're police detectives, but in a supernatural world, because you guys know that's what I tend to read. And then Dammy had got picked up for Christmas with some of her Christmas money, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I had never read it, and so I read it. Wow. Yeah. It was not at all what I expected from the book cover, but it was very interesting to see how the world changed based on decisions and stuff that had been made. And then I started rereading the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan. Riordan. I thought it was Riordan. Riordan. And I'm in book 1 and enjoying that. It's been quite a while since I read it. But sometime before Christmas, all of them went on sale for like way cheap. And so I picked them all up for Dammy. And I was like, you know what? We share a Kindle account and I can read these too. So I am reading those. All right. Let's talk movies and TV. Do you want to start?
Sure. We finished rewatching the Harry Potter movies. We watched 6 through 8. So
Yes, and I cried a
You
lot.
did.
A lot. I cried a lot this week. That's not happening. Okay, anything else you want to say about Harry Potter?
No.
Love you, Harry Potter. And you still need to read The Cursed Child.
Yes.
That's really good. I wish I could see the play, because I think that'd be really cool. Okay, you and I finished watching The Bletchley Circle. We had 2 episodes left in the series, and we watched those yesterday. And those were good. I don't know what we're going to watch next. We have to make a decision on what you and I are going to watch next. We may not watch anything because we'll be doing book stuff. It may have to be until after Edinburgh Yarn Festival. We'll have to see. Okay, why don't you talk about the next one?
We are rewatching season 3 of Fringe. You wrote that.
I did write that. Olivia is pregnant with Peter's baby. Yeah. And we just watched, last night we watched another flashback to the 80s episode, and I love the intro to the 80s themed episodes. But poor Peter and Olivia. Yeah. Do they ever address, do you remember, it's been so long since we watched, I can't really remember. Do they ever address why Peter and Olivia don't remember that they knew each other as children?
I don't know, but they were young kids and it was a stressful time in their lives. Maybe they forgot. Like, I can't remember everything from when I was a kid.
I know, but yeah, I don't know. So anyway, so we're watching that. The Hubs and I are continuing to rewatch season 2 of Lost, and we were introduced officially to the others. And
Why was Aaron in danger? Because Charlie was like freaking out.
yeah, Charlie was freaking out. He kept having dreams that that something was gonna happen to Aaron. And then there was a very, very sweet, moving moment when Echo baptized Claire and baby Aaron in the ocean. It was very, very sweet. I really like the character of Mr. Echo. I mean, I know he had a really rough backstory, but I really, really like his character on the island, and I'm sad when he is gone. And it was his choice. He asked the writers to write him out because of a death. I believe it was his father that died. But yeah, I really like his character.
Why was he marking trees? He said because those were the trees he liked.
I don't remember.
Oh.
Because I was emotionally invested in what we're going to talk about in a minute. So why don't you talk about the next thing?
We're watching season 3 of The Librarians. Jones is in love
With Cindy.
Cindy. She's got cute hair.
She does have very cute hair. I like her hair a lot.
He's in love.
Yes, he's in love. It was about a love potion.
Love potion.
Yeah. That she just wanted people to like her, and people were mean. It was like she was on kind of a Big Brother-esque show, and she got kicked out, and they made fun of her, and she thought they were really being her friends, and then They weren't. They weren't. Okay. Anything else before I tell you exactly how not okay I am with Sherlock? Okay.
Spoilers for Sherlock.
If you haven't watched the new episode of Sherlock, the Six Thatchers.
Yes.
So,
like the 6 Napoleons.
yes. So we rewatched all of Series 3 and the Abominable Bride Christmas special from last year.
I like Series 3.
Series 3 is good. Okay. First off, we watched this twice. We watched the new episode twice.
We're probably going to watch it more times.
And I am not okay with what happened. I am not at all okay. I'm not okay. I just kept saying that as we were watching it, like tears streaming down my face. I am not okay with this. I am not okay with this. And I knew, like, Moffat, I think it was Moffat that said, it may have been Gatiss. Is that how you say his name? Gatiss? Gatiss. One of them, or both potentially, said that
at the same time.
Potentially. Said that a major character was going to be killed off in this series.
I usually don't listen to anything they say.
It was in the trivia. And you know how I am about IMDb trivia. Okay. So let me tell you about moments that I found intriguing or moving or made me angry.
Guess which one?
Sherlock tweeting during the briefing with Mycroft and Lady Smallwood and
those
people. Him tweeting during that.
221, bring it.
And him singing, I'm glad to be alive. That was hysterical. I was cracking up. And they thought he was on taking drugs. And he was like, no, it's a natural high. John thinking, again in another case, that it was twins. And Sherlock, before John could even say it, he was like, it's never twins. It's never twins, John. Okay, when they named the baby Rosamund Mary, I was like, that is Mary's name. Rosamund, I was like, that has to be her name that when she was a spy. I knew it before they even told us. I was like, yes. They are calling the baby Rosie. And Sherlock trying to talk to Rosie to convince her not to throw her rattle. He has a rattle too because he's a baby. He is. John and Mrs. Hudson. No, was it Mrs. Hudson John talking about it? Or
Greg.
Oh, it was Greg.
Giles.
It was Greg and John talking about it, about Sherlock being a baby. But him trying to convince Rosie not to throw her rattle, and he gave it back to her, and then she threw it and hit him in the face with it. It was hysterical. The woman on the bus. I'll come back to her.
So will I.
The woman on the bus. I'll be back. Just a minute. Oh, but I will say, I think she's part of something maybe with Moriarty. But we'll come back to that. The balloon being the John substitute. So funny, and how long it took Sherlock to realize it. Agra. So this was all about Mary, not about Moriarty. Agra. So Agra stands for, I don't remember the first two names.
I don't.
Alex?
Possibly Alex. I think Alex.
The last A is AJ.
AJ.
And R is the Rosamund.
Yeah, I think G is Gabriel or Gabrielle. I couldn't tell which one they were saying.
So the whole thing when Mary runs away trying to protect her family, and she's on the plane and she's playing a part of a woman who is like freaking out on the plane. Oh my gosh, I was like laughing so hard I was crying. It was so funny. And then the whole thing about Sherlock found Mary while she was gone, and this whole like answer he gave her, this whole BS answer about
feasible variable.
Yes, about how and he found her.
The mathematics of probability.
It was so funny, and really he'd found her because he'd put a tracker on the Agra thumb drive. It was so funny though, and she totally fell for it. And then here we go. Now we're back to talking about the woman on the bus. No, John. No.